After the shocking removal of Kingda Ka in 2025, there's an unsettling feeling that no coaster in the Six Flags chain is safe. The company's main objective is to save money and reduce operating expenses. Ride portfolios in a lot of these parks are aging, and with that comes an increase in upkeep and maintenance. My name is Brandon, and I'm here to share with you which roller coaster at each Six Flags parks I believe will close next. Park 1's the often underrated King's Dominion. This park boasts a very well-rounded lineup with a standout top 2. The next coaster to be removed here feels like a certainty. That coaster would be Flight of Fear. This is one of the original premier LIM prototypes, and this model has had a myriad of problems over the years. The coaster runs somewhat reliably nowadays, but between the outdated power-hungry hardware, combined with the coaster not really fitting the jungle theme of the new area, this coaster's days are surely numbered. Up next is the graveyard itself, Six Flags Great Adventure. The two most obvious cut candidates were dealt with last year, that being Kingda Ka and Green Lantern. This has left the park without a glaring target, as everything else here fits a role and isn't too maintenance heavy. Actually, that's not true. As are all B&M flyers, Superman Ultimate Flight can be a bit of a reliability and maintenance headache. There's probably a good chance that this could be the next coaster to go. But I'm going to think outside the box here. I'm going to predict that Joker will be the next coaster removed, the ride being sold or moved to a smaller park. Capacity is terrible for a bigger park like Great Adventure, and its placement in the park is criminal. The piece of land it sits on should be turned into a grand pavilion type of restaurant space, similar to the one at Cedar Point. A view this good should not be blocked by this polarizing mid-coaster. If you're enjoying the video so far, I'd ask that you consider subscribing and leaving a like. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, and we're almost there. Your help would be greatly appreciated. Wow, Frontier City. This is a tough one. Except that it's not. The answer is Diamondback. Six Flags Mexico does not strike me as a park that wants to lose any of its coasters. But we're going no mercy here. This park has the terrible two, that being the Vekoma Suspended Looping Coaster and Boomerang. These two rides are notorious for playing ping pong with the riders' heads. Gotta love those restraints. It's worth mentioning that the Boomerang is one of the oldest in the world, being one of the originals from 1984. To make matters worse, this Boomerang was relocated to this park, opening at Six Flags Mexico in 1987. SLCs are also terrible, but this at least is one of the newer ones, opening in 2000. New trains might do wonders on this. The Boomerang, on the other hand, is over 40 years old and is destined for the scrapyard. Several good candidates at Discovery Kingdom. Like Six Flags Mexico, this park also has the terrible two. There is, however, another coaster I suspect will be going away first. That coaster is Flash Vertical Velocity. This ride stood still for nearly 2 years and then miraculously started operating last summer. The whole thing is best summarized by either of these two memes. I'm happy to see it operating, but imagine with the higher operating cost and problematic history, this will still be the next coaster out. The scourge of Canada's Wonderland was removed last year. The other bad ride that everyone wants gone was just given new trains. That means we're gonna have to go a little out of the box for this next pick. When in doubt, pick an aero coaster. There's a good chance you'll be right. We have two candidates today. One is a park original that now lives in the shadow of the mighty Leviathan. The other is an aero suspended coaster that's been forced to share a house with multiple other coasters. Aero suspended coasters have been getting shelved lately because of higher upkeep costs, but I have a feeling the park will try to keep Vortex around as long as possible. Dragonfire is going to be my pick for this park. This ride is 10 years older than Vortex and does not seem to be particularly popular. We saw it a year ago with Anaconda. I think there's a good chance this will be the next aero looper to go down. Yeah, I know you know what's on the screen now, and I've got bad news. There's a chance that X2 may not be long for this world.
You need to leave!
This would be a real shame, as X2 is the icon of Magic Mountain, and one of my favorite coasters anywhere. There's nothing like it anywhere else, except in Asia. It's not the only aero in the park with a target on its back, though. Viper and Ninja are two rides that have constantly been on the theoretical chopping block for years. We'll throw Scream in there too to make airtime thrills happen. Viper and Ninja are both getting old and more costly to maintain. Scream just does not feel right in the park and does not ride the best. All these options have a fair argument for why they could be removed, but thankfully, I think X2 will live to see another day. I believe Ninja is the next coaster to go, and the Vekoma Thrill Glider is proof of that. These two rides have a similar purpose and even have a similar setting. I do urge everyone watching this to prioritize getting on X2 in the next few years though. Cedar Point is a park of high highs and low lows. Most of these lows come from their older rides, which were phenomenal when they were installed, but now live in the shadow of the newer attractions. Here's 5 of the coasters that I think have a realistic shot of getting removed. Cedar Creek Mine Ride sucks, Corkscrew sucks, Gemini and Iron Dragon are fine, Rougarou kinda sucks too. I feel like Cedar Creek Mine Ride and Iron Dragon may get a longer leash since there are so few family attractions at this park. Gemini and especially Corkscrew are getting older and rougher. Corkscrew alone doesn't free up a ton of space, but Gemini sits on a pretty sizable plot of land. Popularity of this ride has dwindled, and replacing it with something else could theoretically cut the maintenance in half. I'm gonna go with my dream pick here and get rid of Rougarou to make way for an airtime-focused B&M surf coaster. Rougarou feels completely unremarkable in Cedar Point's lineup. Bringing back a standing coaster would certainly turn heads. Surf has a lot of untapped potential. Cedar Point's always been great at pushing models to their limits. It also doesn't hurt that Rougarou's plot of land's right on top of the water. Just saying. If you've made it this far, I'd like to once again ask that you consider subscribing. Let me know if you agree with my choices or think the parks will remove something else. I'll be releasing a part 2 where I go over the rest of the parks, which you can find here when it's ready. I look forward to seeing you then.